Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekly Clarity Update call. My name is Matt Dawson. I'm up in Williston, North Dakota, and my friend and the founder of Clarity, Robin, need to introduce our VP of Product Sales or Product Development this evening, Chris Neville, and he's all the way from Australia. With over 25 of experience in advertising, wellness, and direct sales, Chris has worked with numerous well-known supplement, whole food, and bioenergetic tech-based companies. His current company, Biophotonics Innovations, continues to focus on the scientific findings for longevity, regeneration, and something I did not know, green technologies. I won't even attempt to go into his education because most of it I couldn't even pronounce. But he's a smart man, and I'd like to turn it over to you, Chris.
Thank you so much, Matt, and welcome everybody, and certainly for those who are joining the call for the first time around, it's great to have you tune in. Very, very excited also, not only to be sharing some additional information about Clarity, but also Calibrate, our flagship product. And to have joining me this evening is a very special guest of ours who's on our advisory board, affectionately referred to as Dr. B. And Dr. Veronique Desaulniers has been in the wellness field since 1979, where she had her practice, and she's been in and around energy medicine, studying and actively involved in chiropractic, bioenergetics, meridian stress analysis, homeopathy, and digital thermography. So she bridges a traditional world in a very profound way. But also after 30 years in active practice, she retired and devoted her time into sharing her personal journey as far as a non-toxic journey with breast cancer. And this has culminated not only in a successful outcome for herself, but also initiating her passion for helping others and ultimately setting up the 7 Essentials, which is a step-by-step coaching guide that has helped thousands of women around the world successfully navigate the trauma and the life-threatening condition of breast cancer. Her Breast Cancer Conqueror website is phenomenal, and certainly as the #1 best-selling book on Amazon with Heal Breast Cancer Naturally. Dr. V, it's fabulous to have you on the call, so welcome.
Thank you so much, Chris and Robin. It's an amazing community and this movement that you're creating with your company.
Thanks so much. So what we'll be doing, everybody, is just to share a little bit about what the background and the backdrop to our product is. And in real terms, what we need to have a look at is that there is this silent or secret killer that's actually in epidemic proportions globally. And if you see the front page of Time magazine here, you'll actually see that the headline is the surprising link between inflammation and heart attacks, cancer, Alzheimer's, and a myriad of other diseases. And when we say diseases, obviously we're referring to chronic degenerative conditions, and these have inflammation as a common link. And the extraordinary thing about it is that when we look at today's world and the society, stress is prevalent. But we look at the statistical data and realize that these conditions are actually growing and surging in every single region around the world. 60% of the deaths worldwide are actually a result of chronic degenerative disease. And when you consider 45% of Americans, it's about 133 million Americans. In Australia, 7 million Australians are actually afflicted with some form of chronic degenerative condition, and it's rising rapidly. So take those extraordinary factors into consideration, and science has now identified that inflammation is the root of all degenerative ailments. And when you look at the inflammation in the body, it doesn't matter what part of the body or what system of the body that the inflammation occurs. If it's a degenerative ailment like neurological disease, it will be inflammation of the central nervous system. Then you'll have inflammation of the skeletal system for arthritis and osteoporosis, diabetes, pulmonary diseases, etc. So all of these conditions have inflammation. And so the extraordinary thing is that most of our focus and time and energy has really been about signs and symptoms rather than the source of the problem. And realistically, the source of the problem starts at the cellular level. Yes, it's contributing factors to lifestyle, diet, and environment. We're very well aware of that. But every facet of inflammation affects aging, sickness, and disease. And this underlying oxidative stress and toxicity inside the cell is the fundamental source of the problem itself. Pose the question, quite simply, isn't it time we started fighting the cause and not the symptoms? So medicine targets signs and symptoms. Pink pill, red pill, yellow pill, whatever it is, it's targeting signs and symptoms. And so solving the problem really means targeting the underlying cause. And the statistical data, which is staggering, and that is 106,000 people die every year in the US alone, 1 million worldwide, following directions on prescription drugs. Now, if that's not a wake-up call, I don't know what is. But the tragedy of the matter is that we have got a society and a system that is looking at segmenting each of the conditions rather than getting down to the common underlying source or trigger. Here in Australia, we have past president of the Australian Medical Association, Professor Karen Phelps, and she said that the future of research in medicine would actually move beyond randomized controlled trials to personalized therapeutics. In fact, she also recommends and suggests that epigenetics and nutrigenomics is the direction in which we're moving. So what is the field of science called nutrigenomics? Well, it's really, in simple terms, like nutrition talking to our genes. And the genes will express in a particular way to either support health or we are in a state of degeneration. But we also know that foods, thoughts, and feelings can have an effect on gene expression. And nutrigenomics specifically is about identifying the bioactive compounds, nutrients, that trigger genes that will activate our own defense mechanisms. And when activated, these genes produce primary antioxidants and detoxification enzymes. This is important, as we'll share as we unfold, but what we've looked at are the multiple pathways that we can actually. We know that antioxidants are supportive to health, and many people are familiar with antioxidants, are able to naturally neutralize free radical damage. And the free radical damage, we can think of that as like rust in the body, that this oxidative stress is starting to wear the body out. And there has been, over the last decade certainly, an influx of Amazonian berries and exotic superfoods and superfruits. These are what we refer to as secondary antioxidants. And secondary antioxidants are from our diet. And one of the things that every company that's promoting a secondary antioxidant look at is absorption. The challenge is that many of the powerful antioxidant benefits of these superfoods are limited by absorption because the molecules are bulky, and so they don't readily pass into the bloodstream and ultimately reach the cell. They're very, very important, but they play a buffering role. But nothing else today, you see this image and identify with where you've been focused and potentially to shift your focus into what we believe is the fundamental foundation for cellular defense. And this is about putting out the fire at the cellular level. Primary antioxidants are made by the body. So if we look at the secondary antioxidants that we're talking about, the fruits and the berries down the bottom here, this is where we hear about vitamins and minerals, proteins and flavonoids, carotenoids, etc., coenzyme Q10. These are all absorbed from foods that we take into the body and represent this class or group known as secondary or dietary antioxidants. And you'll see as we go into increasing benefit and efficacy up the way, you'll see that primary internal antioxidants, the SOD, which stands for superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione peroxidase. These three form the primary internal antioxidant defense system. The importance of it is that they are made by the body, and if the body makes it, the body will use it. And not only that with the body making it, it's already at the source of the oxidative stress and the toxicity, which is already inside the cells. This is where the genes are coded that actually produce these primary antioxidants. And as it says, the genes simply need to be switched on. With primary antioxidants, those three primary antioxidants, why are they key? Because it's not just about neutralizing the free radical, it's about eliminating a something that's non-toxic. And if you see here, the reactive oxygen species at the top here, the O2 with a little negative sign there, that's the bad guy. That's the superoxide. So you'll see the SOD is the superoxide dismutase that will actually neutralize the free radical superoxide, and it forms hydrogen peroxide, which is then further neutralized by the catalase and the glutathione into water and oxygen. So they work together to break down a free radical into water and balance oxygen. This is incredibly important because not only does it break it down into water and oxygen, it does it millions of times a minute. You compare that to a vitamin C molecule, let's say from a fruit or a berry, and that vitamin C molecule will neutralize just one free radical and then it's eliminated, so 1 for 1. Whereas primary antioxidants will neutralize millions per minute and recycle. And this powerful mechanism interrupts inflammation at the source before it becomes chronic. We're very, very proud to be able to introduce Calibrate, which we refer to as gene-level nutrition for adults and, more importantly, for kids. It's an incredible bioactive blend of patented ingredients that have got the data that supports the function of being able to have the body improve or upregulate the primary antioxidant production. We further enhance the formula with a broad spectrum of nutrients from natural food sources, and the purity of the product is absolutely important. It's vegan, it's non-GMO and gluten-free. There are no preservatives, no soys, no artificial flavors or sweeteners. And it includes an additional range of nutrients from chaga mushrooms, curcumin, bioperine, and we also have probiotics and enzymes built into the formula. It's a great tasting powder. You simply use a scoop or more per day, shake it up with some water and drink that right down. Kids love the flavor, which is absolutely a godsend for many parents trying to get some nutrition into the body. But what we have here is really a product that supports optimizing cellular function, and for that to be elevating our primary antioxidant production. What I'd like to do is to hand it over to Dr. V so she can go a little deeper into some of the important elements of our product. And leading off, after you, Dr. V.
Thank you, Chris. So one of the products that really introduced me, or one of the foods that really introduced me to gene-level nutrition was actually the introduction of broccoli sprouts and one of its components called sulforaphane. There are thousands of research articles on the power of sulforaphane, but not all sulforaphane is created equally. You have to be very careful with the type of sulforaphane that you use because you want to make sure that it is bioactive and it has the proper enzymes in order to actually create and make the sulforaphane in the body. The beauty of sulforaphane is that it activates over 200 genes in our body for cellular defense. Sometimes our genes will, the switches on our genes will actually be turned off because of stress, because of chemical toxins, because of overload, because of not enough sleep. And the beauty of sulforaphane is that it activates many of these genes. And the beauty of sulforaphane is really cutting-edge science. We can see here studies done at Johns Hopkins, at the University of East Anglia, London. But the power of the effect on the genes from sulforaphane is amazing because it acts as a catalyst, as you can see here, turning on the NRF2 gene as well as other genes. It's really backed by research from around the globe. As I mentioned, there's over 1,000 research articles on the power of sulforaphane. It's a rapidly growing field of science, and scientists are recognizing the many effects that something as simple as the ingredient in the broccoli sprout has. And as you can see in this chart here, that sulforaphane is a very, very powerful substance. It has an anti-inflammatory effect on the body, and we know, as Chris mentioned, inflammation is really the root cause of all disease, whether it's in the brain, in the spine, cancer, in the cardiovascular system, the GI tract. That's really the root of all disease. Sulforaphane turns on specific detoxification enzymes. We know that glutathione is one of our primary antioxidants, so it stimulates that. Sulforaphane has a cardioprotective effect. It protects our nerve system. It recycles CoQ10 and lipoic acid. A lot of people are struggling with insulin resistance and diabetes, and so sulforaphane has proven to be very effective in helping that. You can see also in the bottom left corner the cell cycle arrest. Now, this is very important when it comes to cancer because sulforaphane has been shown to actually cause cancer cells to die. Cancer cells don't die. They don't go through the normal cycle of birth and death, and so sulforaphane has been shown to actually induce cancer cell death as well as preventing cancer spread in the body. It helps to bind heavy metals and detox them from the body. So an extremely powerful aspect of our product here. I was so thrilled to learn about that. Now, here you see a picture of two melons. You see the standard melon here. After 12 days, what happens? It starts to rot. But the beauty of the patented melons that we're using in this product, you can see after 12 days it's still healthy and firm. The extramel species that we use for the SOD, the superoxide dismutase, has the highest levels of that enzyme. And if you were to just try to eat superoxide dismutase, it's going to be destroyed in your stomach through the GI tract because of the high acid content. But with this patented process, the SOD is microencapsulated, so it reaches the small intestine, and it's able to be delivered in a very active form to all parts of the body. Next slide. Chaga mushroom. Now, chaga was actually something that I recommended for many years with my patients, and I actually drank the tea for many years myself. But chaga is extremely potent because it has over 215 phytochemicals in it and over 46 medicines that have been used as an active ingredient. And it has 50 times more of the superoxide dismutase than any other mushroom. We know that mushrooms are very popular in medicinal, in alternative and natural medicine, but really the chaga mushroom has the highest content of the SOD, which is very important. Very potent anti-cancer properties, and it's very rich in B vitamins, flavonoids, phenols, and many other nutrients. Curcumin. Not all curcumins are the same because curcumin is not readily absorbed into the body. There's over 6,800 study articles on the effect of curcumin, so it's become a very popular substance to use, but unfortunately a lot of it is not being absorbed. However, the beauty of the complex that we use in the patented form here It's very well absorbed, and it has very powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory aspects to it. It's a powerful immune support, and it's been used, curcumin's been around for thousands of years, and now scientists are realizing the importance of it because it actually downregulates specific NF-κB gene switches that actually promote inflammation, and this curcumin downregulates it. Bioperine, another patented product. It's derived from black pepper, and again, ancient medicine, the Ayurvedic medicine. This has been used for many, many years to help stimulate the digestive tract. It increases the absorption of nutrients, and clinical studies have shown that it'll increase the levels of selenium absorption by 30% and beta-carotene by as much as 60%. So an extremely powerful ingredient to add to such a wonderful blend of nutrients because it's going to enhance the absorption of everything. So when you put it all together and you look at the ingredients here, extremely powerful. I'm so impressed with the fact that there's some potent enzymes because enzymes are so important as far as detoxification, digestion, your immune system, and we can see here that there's a lot of enzymes in the product. We can see that also there's some probiotics. We know that 60 to 80% of your immune system is found in the lining of the small intestine. So it's extremely important to have a healthy gut in order to keep your immune system strong and healthy. And so when you look at the proprietary botanical blend, everything from the broccoli sprout powder, which offers over 5,000 parts per million of sulforaphane, which is a very, very potent dose. The black cumin, the shilajit extract, which is a very interesting mineral that is found in the Himalayas and different parts of Central Asia, but it's been shown to be a very powerful anti-inflammatory. It helps with pain, anti-anxiety, anti-stress, and it's very high in minerals, which is extremely important. We see other ingredients here like the selenium yeast, the melon extract that we talked about, the resveratrol, the quercetin, the chaga mushrooms, and, of course, the bioperine. So all of these things added together really make a very powerful nutrient component that really stimulates and talks to your genes as well as stimulates the production of your primary antioxidants. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you, Dr. V. Absolutely fabulous. Well, when you consider that inflammation is the root source of aging, sickness, and disease, and we actually recognize that primary antioxidants are truly the magic of the body, it starts with prevention. And realistically, every single pathway that we're looking at is holistic in its thought process and integrated, so that way we're looking at a way of being able to support the natural process within the body to get well and stay well. Calibrate itself is about the purity. We've already identified that, but we've also recognized the fact that we have a lot more detail and data about the patents and what the efficacy of each of these ingredients represented. So it's based on the latest scientific research in identifying some of these compounds and their ability to nutrigenomically talk to our genes. And the mark of any product is really about the benefit. And we have stories and testimonials that are coming into the office every single day from adults to children. We just recently shot a video on the beach there in California with people that are, just so excited about the impact of the product in their own lives and willing to share that. So we're really thrilled. If you're hearing about the product for the first time yourself, we've got a new video you can take a look at. You could certainly get back with the person that introduced you to Clarity and find out some more. And all I would encourage you to do is try the product, use the product, and let your body be the barometer for, the benefit. And if you've got any other questions, we're certainly just an email away, whether it be or the person that introduced you. So where are we going in the future as a company? Quite simply, what we've started out with is a foundational product, a great combination of nutrients in the biochemical realm. And we're looking to further enhance this and a range of other products that will not only be at the leading edge of nutrigenomics, but they'll be further enhanced with an understanding of biophysics. It will be a quantum leap forward even beyond what we have, and what we have is leading edge. And so we've got something that will be stamped as not only totally unique, we'll be able to measure the impact on people's health, and we're anticipating that as we roll out other products within this category and other new categories over time, it's going to lead us into a very serious company that can offer people true hope, we believe. Disclaimer, obviously you'll need to read that, but we're not prescribing anything here, and we're certainly not diagnosing any condition either. Thank you very much for your time. We'd really encourage you to get back to the person who referred you to the call, and we really appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to join us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thanks, Dr. V, so much.
You're welcome. Good night.
Thank you, Robin.
Good night.
Good night.